Hi everyone, it's Mayor Michelle Wu, and I'm excited to present our administration's first budget. In this moment of urgency and opportunity for Boston, our recommended budget ties together our shared resources to set a foundation for the future, connect our communities, and deliver on the details of city services across our neighborhoods. I'm proud that this is also the first year of a new balance of budgetary power with the Boston City Council. From the very start, our budget has been guided by community engagement through listening sessions, citywide surveys in 12 languages, and 3 months of direct feedback. Throughout the process, you made it clear that Boston deserves a transformation, and we have a window to do just that. As we recover from the COVID-19 pandemic, we're also expanding what is possible for city government. I'm excited to have some of my colleagues in City Hall here with me today to discuss this fiscally responsible, balanced budget to invest in our people, our neighborhoods, and our services.
We're strengthening our arts and culture with an investment of $20 million for neighborhood placemaking, downtown activation, and elevating new cultural anchors across the city. We're also staffing up to support community engagement and making sure that arts and culture is represented in development review. And we'll also be adding a director for City Hall Plaza programming. And we're also investing in public art around the city to make sure that our public spaces and art reflect all of our neighborhoods, including $1 million for a signature project in Chinatown.
We are so excited that the mayor has invested $34 million in our opportunity to fulfill this vision. $3 million of those dollars going toward ensuring that Boston residents have access to tuition-free college, that we're creating 6,000 new summer youth jobs, $19 million to help sustain and build minority-owned businesses and support legacy-owned businesses here in the city of Boston who've committed to the cultural vibrancy of our neighborhoods. And finally, a $5 million investment that's going to ensure that we are strengthening our main streets and creating more vibrant and exciting commercial centers for all of our neighborhoods. We're so grateful to Mayor Wu, and we're excited to help implement these investments.
So we're excited for this budget because it's going to improve mobility for all residents of Boston, no matter how they travel. This budget adds 12 new positions to the Streets Cabinet, focused on improving transit, encouraging biking, and increasing safety on all of our streets. It also increases our capital budget to give us the money we need to maintain our roadways and to rebuild them to create a more safer and more equitable transportation system. And it includes $18 million in ARPA funding, including $2 million for an expansion of our fare-free bus pilot program.
So excited about this budget and the way that it allows us to deepen our commitment to climate justice and beautiful, impactful open spaces. There are $2.5 million invested in school bus electrification so that our students can get to school in a way that also keeps their communities healthy and safe. And we have more than $6 million in ARPA funding. It's going to support our Green Jobs program. It allows us to train all of our young people, and particularly those who've been involved in the criminal justice system, to be at the forefront of the green revolution, protecting our urban tree canopy, spending time out in our parks and open spaces. And finally, $137 million in capital funding to upgrade, renovate, protect and secure our parks throughout the city, where people can spend time connecting with nature and each other.
We're supporting behavioral and mental health for every Boston resident by investing $660,000 in public health staffing to support an $18 million ARPA investment in behavioral and mental health, and by expanding co-response options for mental health response calls. We're supporting the behavioral and mental health of every Boston resident by creating a new Center for Behavioral Health and Wellness that will be charged with developing innovative preventive and responsive models to mental health, substance use, and wellness that address systemic inequities through a comprehensive, coordinated citywide response in Boston. Responding to the substance use crisis through the expansion of harm reduction, outreach, and recovery services for individuals struggling with substance use disorder, and by putting more first responders in the field who are trained to support people experiencing a mental health crisis.
Over the next 3 years, the city is going to invest $380 million to tackle our housing issues. That money is going to be used to make investments to preserve our public housing that serves our lowest income families and seniors. It's going to build new affordable home ownership. throughout the city. It's going to stabilize our neighborhoods by taking units and buildings out of the speculative market and putting them into nonprofit and for-profit hands to create new affordable housing units for people that are already living in those buildings. And finally, but not least, it's going to invest in increasing our rates of home ownership, especially for BIPOC households that have a much lower rate of home ownership. We need to stabilize neighborhoods, stabilize families, and we're going to do that by providing down payment assistance, better loan products, and we're going to build beautiful homes on vacant city lots. I'm excited to get going on this work, and I'm really very, very thankful that the mayor has made such a commitment to solving our housing issues.
So I'm super excited to say that we kicked off the FY23 budget with a community-led process. We held 4 listening sessions within the community partner with our city council. And we heard directly from our constituents and our residents, and we embedded a lot of the feedback directly into the budget. I'm excited to see deep investment into 311, into Office of Neighborhood Services. So let's get to it. I'm excited by the FY23 budget.
As we emerge from the pandemic, this budget charts a course towards our brightest future for our children, for our communities, for Boston. I'm so excited to be building that future together.